an epic rant on college, WWE's Evolution pay-per-view, and as a Patreon exclusive, the FBI's Nothing tape on Trump. Hey, I've got a lot to complain about, so let's do this.
The recently canceled podcast with Von Fry.
Hey, how goes it? Sipping me a Mountain Dew? Got me some Reese's Pieces at hand. You may be hearing them through this. So, kick back, enjoy a cold one, because I'm pissed off yet again. I've got a cousin visiting me soon. She's my youngest cousin, born quite a bit after everybody else, and she is, I think, 18 and heading off to college. And her folks are coming by my place, a.k.a. my parents' place, and I live in their basement, and we know this. And on the way to drop her off at college, they're visiting us. So my cousin is going off to college up north. And I'm not too thrilled about her decision here for a couple reasons. First of all, as you know, college has been something that has been a thorn in my side, or rather a cancerous tumor, that has held me back and restricted my mobility in climbing the sports entertainment slash podcast world, YouTube, whatever this hell. You know, I have to pay an exuberant amount of money, seemingly for the rest of my life, with the almost nothing I get in ad revenue, because I made a poor decision to go to college. And I think a lot of other people are doing this too. There's a lot of pressure from parents for kids to go to college. Oh, well, you have to go to college. Well, you have to get an education. What does this education do? What do any of you with a bachelor's, a master's, a doctorate, what do you recall from college, specifically learning from college? What is it that has made you from college? Oh, well, it's the experience, right? Because when it comes down to it, you're really going to college for one of two reasons. And those should be the key factors here. First of all, it's connections, it's networking. If you do as I did, and you're surrounded by complete losers at your college, you're going to find yourself out at night pumping iron and then coming back to the dorm or your room, whatever, and playing some video games and watching movies. Because you're not going to want to go to the clubs where all the girls are 6 feet 200 and falling down drunk, and just everybody's competing to see who can be the biggest skank. You're not going to be interested in that type of stuff. If you have standards, you're going to have a problem at the majority of universities. These state-run universities are pretty much useless. They're a scam. Here's how they go. They say, look, people have heard of our university. You get a degree from here, people have heard of it. Okay, kind of, but there's private universities people have heard of also. You know, you could go to MIT, Harvard, Yale. I mean, you should be gunning for something like that. If you're going to go for somewhere with name recognition, the university of a state is not going to help you a whole lot. It's going to be a degree that you paid for, that anybody could just slink their way through, and they're giving you this degree because, well, eventually they have to. You know, you paid your 50 grand or whatever. The price is always going up, and it's not like you're learning more with all this extra money that going into tuition. Nah, If anything, you're learning less. You're learning that your professors were a bunch of losers who couldn't make it in their respective fields. Oh, unless they're teaching at Harvard and Yale and such. Because you're just getting a bunch of half-assed second-rate people at any other school. And they're filling up these rooms with arbitrary classes that appeal to the masses, or even a specific niche of people that they want to get into college. Say we have a class on, something you can't make any money on. I'll go with film criticism. Oh, well, you want to learn, you want to be a film critic? Well, you need to go take this, go to college and learn film criticism. Yeah. Oh, does it hook you up with a job? Nope. Are there jobs available? Nope. Do you have to make your own videos on YouTube and hope that being a hot chick will get you views? Yep. So what did you learn in college? Well, you got your degree and it was the experience. That's what they get you with, right? They've made so many minors, majors, concentrations that are useless, but they appeal to the kids who were on the fence about going to college and they got duped in there. Your parents say you have to go to college? Well, okay, you're going to major in what you want to major in, but they got there what they wanted. They got you out the door. They got you in to go to the dorm, to go to orientation, all this shit, right? The parents are happy because you got to walk down and with the cap and gown and hold up your paper and throw the cap and all this shit and get the pictures, right? They're happy that you did that part, but you have a useless degree. And that's going to be the case for just about everybody. Because unless the law requires you to have a degree in that occupation, you really shouldn't even bother with college. So, you want to be a lawyer or doctor? Okay, college, there you go. That's it. Maybe engineer. Not really seeing a whole lot of real jobs that require college. What I'm seeing in the marketplace is a lot of people who get hired based on, oh, look, my dad owns the place, so I guess now I get to work there. Or, hey, I have a friend who works there, and now you get to also. Oh, hey, you're in a small town. Oh, well, I guess it's going to somebody's relative, that job you wanted. That's the way college works. Well, the marketplace as far as jobs. The college doesn't care. If you're a paying customer, you're already screwed at college. They've got your money. They're going to make it tough for you to transfer. They're going to make it hell. You're stuck in their system, and they're going to shuffle classes around as they did me so that you get to be there for 5 years. And then 5 years becomes the norm. They go, oh, well, anymore now it takes 5 years to graduate. That's what you'll start hearing at parties. That's what your kids you'll hear from other parents when you have kids when college comes up. Well, anymore it takes 5 years. They want to extend that time so they can make more money from you. Because over at the university, the paying people, you're just chumps. You know, there's a sucker born every minute. Well, there you go. That's college for you. The greatest scam we have going, arguably tied with insurance. Now, right now, I'm only seeing one group of people who really have any business going to those schools. And those are those with, let's just say, full ride scholarships. Okay, so the athletes, they say, oh, look, you can play football, huh? Well, we make a lot of money on football over here at University of the State. So we need to make sure that we have a decent enough football team to put some butts in seats and sell some merch and occasionally get our name mentioned in national news, okay? So we're going to let you go to school for free, and then when you go on to the NFL or whatever, you get to come back and be a mentor figure, like, oh, hey, look, I'm so glad to have my number retired, blah, blah, whatever the hell, Ring of Honor. I'm going to go give a pep talk to the new class, tell them how great it was when ex-NFL players came by and talked to me and all this shit. And yeah, it's going to be a pretty easy path for you. You see, they're not interested in education at these schools. They're interested in hyping up their own scheme. All right? They've got this beautiful project to make money, and it could quickly come undone as soon as a scientist decides that they want to invent a way to upload information as Keanu Reeves learned Kung Fu in The Matrix. That is the end of college right there. What are they going to sell you on after that? Oh, well, you have to go meet people. Well, they'll actually probably have to turn to that. Well, you can't get the best file upload unless you come to Harvard. And you're going to want to meet the other kids who come from a privileged background, right? So you go to Harvard because you're a rich kid, right? So you need to meet other rich kids so you can then pool your resources to get your new Facebook off the ground, right? But the benefit to the rich kids is that they have this symbiotic relationship going with the smart kids. So the smart kids that get the full ride get to go to Harvard and mingle with the upper class so that they get choice jobs and are able to make the upper class richer. And so it's a recruitment system where the rich guys send their kids in there to go get the best talent to go work for dad's company. So you see how beautiful that is. Someone's probably going to kill me for saying this. Yeah, this is the level of exposing I'm doing right now. Alex Jones, you're nothing on me, okay? I'm talking about the deep state, okay? This is the root of all problems here. It's being tied to this scam to get all the kids to go to college. You're going to end up where I am, where every job wants a college degree, but it's not going to make a difference. And everybody vying has at least the same degree, because college used to be something that you looked at a guy and like, wow, that's a college educated guy over there. No, he doesn't have to work the tough job. He doesn't have to be the guy flipping burgers or working sacking the groceries. Now they want guys flipping the burgers to have a degree. They're like, oh, look, there's all these people with a degree who can't get a job. Why should we choose someone who doesn't have a degree at all when we can get somebody with a degree to flip burgers, huh? I guess they're going to have much better efficiency on their burger flipping. See, that's the way they're looking at it. The marketplace is so full with educated people that education has become nothing special. So it's more about the blue bloods. It's like, look, if you're rich, why would you work this job, huh? If your folks are rich and connected, they can just get you in on this other stuff. It doesn't make a difference. I don't see a situation here where anybody comes out a winner with, oh, well, you worked hard and you tried. Oh, but your university of the state was full of losers, so what good does it do you, huh? You know you're in a bad place when you drop by the other guy's dorms, you're saying hi, and all they have on the wall is a Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas poster. You know that you are just in the place that is serving as the second hub of the state-ran propaganda of daycare centers, right? Oh, hey, we got to drop these kids off somewhere. It may as well be college now, huh? Oh, well, look at all this freedom. Now you're away from your parents. I guess that means you have to overindulge in drugs and act like everybody else and peer pressure. And, we're not even going to talk about that. Let's just talk about how every guy on the campus is a rapist. But it's not the girl's fault for slutting out and being intoxicated 24/7. Yeah, we can't blame them, huh? For advertising it. And just so much nonsense. You got liberal professors trying to mold all their personality into their students. I've seen some people start out college looking like decent human beings, as I'd call them. But that gets contorted into, oh my God, I was so right-wing when I got here, but now I'm so liberated and I'm just so much more progressive and I'm a better person now. No, you're a piece of shit who got a shitload of tattoos, has all kinds of weird piercing and strange-ass hair colors, to try to set yourself apart from everybody else that looks like they did the same shit to them. Oh, but you're an artist, right? That's why you got all these tattoos on you, huh? You got to show people how artistic you are. So you got all these markings all over your body. You got to advertise this personality you have. If you're so brimming with personality, you wouldn't have to be so high key with this shit. It's just a bunch of bullshit, guys. This can all collapse if we agree not to watch the sports, if we agree not to give a shit about their protests. Yeah, they're going to protest now like they're the new block parties. Oh, hey, look, we could go have a bonfire. We could sit and talk. We could go to a kegger. Oh, no, wait, protest. Those are even bigger. It's like a bigger party. Come on, you want to go to the protest. You want to be seen, right? So that's the way they're working these protests now. And everybody has to get all up and offended because being offended gives you power to force an apology. People are now apologizing for things that they never needed to apologize for. And they're certainly not apologizing for the stuff that 15 years ago warranted a damn apology. Case in point. This guy, Ben Shapiro, little Jewish conservative asshole. So he's a decent guy. But anyways, he had a talk with this guy, was it Mark or Jay Duplass? One of these untalented filmmaker types, right? And he's like, oh, hey, this guy Ben Shapiro, he's a decent guy. He helped me just because he's a decent dude. If you're ever looking at crossing the aisle, check out Following Ben Shapiro. Then he got leaned on by his liberal pals who wanted to distance themselves from, like, oh, hey, film festivals, networks. I think he has some show, it might have been on HBO canceled or something. But he has these indie films he has to get around, and oh, well, we can't have a guy who represents the other side, because the other side, we're just going to call them bigotry. We can't have anybody talking about that kind of stuff. No, that's bad. That's bad stuff right there. So he's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to endorse. In no way did I mean to endorse bigotry and racism. I'm learning all this. People now, if this guy went off on a tangent and said, hey, this Ben Shapiro's a little dickhead, he would be getting cheers. Years back, that's what you apologized for. Now you're apologizing for bringing humanity to the other side. We're getting to a point where it's like we're going to have a civil war because people are not going to stand for living in a country not represented by their side. That's what will come down. And war, maybe not. Maybe it will be a, what was it Gwyneth Paltrow called? Like a mutual separation. It's going to go down like that. At some point, we're going to have people go, look, screw this shit. We want to be represented by the people we voted for, not necessarily who won the race. And that's the way it's going to go down. And these colleges are not helping the cause. We are getting a further gap in the social structure and in the wages. So much of this bullshit. You go to college, you pay all this money to go to college, and then you're expected to do an internship for a year or two, or until they decide to hire you. What working class family can afford that shit? They can't. So the upper class gets to have their little Johnny go and intern at the firm in NYC. They get to go do that stuff because it's too expensive for the working class and the middle class to go send their kid out to do that stuff, to climb the ladder. They can't afford for somebody to not be a breadwinner for a year. Oh, but if you're rich, people can go and play lawyer intern. Internships are destroying society, and we need a politician who can stand up to the internship union mafia, so whatever we want to call them. They got to be brought down. It's complete garbage. It's wrecking everything. You can't go to school and then not be set up with a job right away. You have too many people going to school for the sake of going to school, and there not being any kind of path for them. Yeah, I was doing a damn fine job reviewing films. Some of my best written critiques of films were done while in college. And did professors have anything lined up for me? No. They're not like, oh, hey, so we're going to set you up with, or even an internship at this paper. Nope, not happening. Nope. I was just another guy paying to be there. Don't be like that. Now, moving along, I want to talk about the WWE's big announcement. This was Monday this week, so they're like, you knew something was coming because this was a Stephanie McMahon on Twitter. Hey, we're going to have a big announcement Monday. It's going to be historic. So historic means pertaining to minorities or women. That's what historic means now. And in that, we have the announcement that we have all of the WWE superstars. We don't call them divas anymore, do we? They have a divas show, don't they? But they're superstars too, right? They're all lined up over in front of the Titantron, and they're going, oh, hey, so I'm joining the ring with my husband who's looking kind of whipped in the background, but he knows that's the role he signed up for in kayfabe. We're going to have an all-women's pay-per-view. Now, some people are saying, hey, historic, it's probably going to pertain to women. Maybe a women's tag team title belt will be made. Nope, doesn't happen. Although that could be suitable, and I wouldn't be surprised if that was something that was brought in during this pay-per-view. Because for an all-women's pay-per-view, you got to have some more matches here. They don't really have a huge stable in the women's. And when it comes to wrestling, I don't think the women's stuff drives it. I think the guys don't mind seeing the girls, but this isn't the Nitro Girl Dancers. This isn't the cheerleaders for the Dallas Cowboys. It's weird to think, hey, if the Dallas Cowboys are going to function, we need to have some female cowgirls play ball too on occasion. No one's showing up for that. No one shows up to see the marching band at the high school football game either. People are not really showing up to watch the female wrestlers. I don't think that there's that sizable of a female audience to grab here. And I think this is a big part of the problem. And yeah, you're going to hear me munch on some Reese's Pieces. Deal with it. Every time somebody goes for these, we have to expand our minority demo. We're so big with white men. And white men are the horse that got us here. But let's shift midstream and jump on the black Hispanic women stuff. Asians, Indians. We have to expand in these territories so that we can make more money, and we've gone public, and we have these shareholders. We have to show growth, and there's we have our projections from the bean counter say that the male demo's dropping off, so we have to find these other sources, and in doing so, you're really alienating the core audience that got you there. I'm not saying that we don't ever need a black champion in the WWE. You need some diversity as far as who the champion is and something that is scripted. Now, if this was NBA basketball, I wouldn't say, hey, when are we going to get some white champs? We're playing the best basketball players against LeBron James. Boom. To determine who's going to be the winner. Here, being a scripted event, you can put somebody over. You can force them over, or in your case, you can try like with Roman Reigns and fail every time, I suppose. The crowds are not into it. They said standing ovation, hardly. What's your standing ovation considered here? Like a few people are standing, all the superstars are standing. This was a forced, you're supposed to stand and say this is amazing. But you didn't witness anything amazing. You went to a wrestling event, and instead you're getting this lecture about an upcoming pay-per-view. And that's a big part of my problem with the WWE, and I honestly don't watch this stuff. It's just something people show me, and it comes up on Twitter and things. And it's like, look, you're not really going to have matches on TV. You're going to have a bunch of mid-card guys fighting on TV. But you're going to spend a lot of time with these promos that are not super well acted or amazingly funny or all that exciting. And I get why you want to call it entertainment now more than sports even. Because, yeah, you can put on a good show at a pay-per-view and maybe even on Raw. But you don't anymore so that you can hold it for the pay-per-view. And even then, you're putting up faces that people don't care that much about. The characters weren't built up too well. A lot of the stuff gets mismanaged. A lot of the mystique gets turned hokey and all. People are not buying into it so much. And I know other people have said, well, UFC is the new wrestling. Because that's where the real tough guys are. So now you have to bring Brock Lesnar. He has to straddle the line between UFC, WWE, Bobby Lashley, because he has mixed martial arts background. You're struggling to find guys who are actually tough, wanting to get into the WWE experience here. And in part, it might be because you're pushing the women too much. And if the women are a huge part of it, how tough can the WWE image really be? Now, there's something to think about. So that does it for free version of the recently canceled podcast. Was this episode 21? I'm losing track here. I do want to say that, if you want to hear the whole thing, because I'm going to talk about this FBI's tape on Trump, be sure to hit up my Patreon. I think that's at patreon.com/VonFry. $1 a month gets you full access, and I have a $5 reward there where you can get a mini poster, signed or not, whatever, by me. I actually picked up some envelopes. They weren't cheap, but this stuff's actually going out. So even if you've given $5 in the past, I'm going to look at, finding out where you live so I can stalk you and send you cookies and whatever. No, just send you a poster. A mini poster, greeting card size type mini poster, all right? So if that sounds good with you, go ahead, hit the Patreon, $1 a month, full access.